Hey guys, I'm Cisco. I own a 2013 Nissan Cube. Many guys love this car. I do too. Bought it used. I figured, hey, I got to change the spark plugs. I thought, okay, great car. 4 cylinders should be a piece of cake, right? So here's your typical cover for the engine. So go ahead and take this off. Take this off. And oh, where are the spark plugs? Well, they're buried underneath the intake manifold. So after about 10 minutes of cursing, all kinds of obscenities, I figured, okay, let's look at the manual, look at the breakdown, and figure out how to take this thing apart. So I've already pre-loosened some stuff because I have to do this with one hand. So the first thing you want to do is this kind of just pops off. Just carefully pop it off. Then there's two little tabs in here. They use a screw to pry them up. Make sure you take them off immediately, or else they'll fall down in there. Ask me how I know. Alright, you take a screwdriver, kind of loosen this, just kind of pry it sideways, and then this pops out. Then you go ahead and get yourself a socket set, loosen that guy, loosen that guy. Then you want to get yourself channel locks or pliers, squeeze that together and move it over. And then the same thing for that little guy right here. This little, looks like a vacuum hose. That one was a little bit trickier, so I loosened it and then I brought it down. And now this guy's loose. Voila. This guy's loose. Maybe. Okay. And then you can take this guy off. Yeah. And then take this guy off. Oh, and there's also this connector here. Attaches there, so you want to take that off too. Not that it's attached to anything, I just figured, hey, don't break it, right? Okay. So after you do this, there's a couple of bolts here that hold this to the intake manifold there. And then you have a couple more bolts here and there. And then you have bolts down there. There's 5. Make sure you work from inside out. And then when you tighten it back up, again, work from the inside out. Okay, so I've already removed the cover, removed the hose intake manifold, and as you guys saw in part 1. Now, one of the things I want to cover that I may have missed, you have to take out your dipstick for oil, put a piece of napkin in there, or paper towel, or a rag, so the stuff doesn't fall in your oil, and then grind up your engine. Okay, you're going to need to get some pliers and kind of just squeeze it in here, and then boop, this thing comes out. All right. I was wrong. Turns out you do have to take out all 4 of these screws here. So after you take out all 4, if I can, with one hand. Come on. I'll drop this thing. Okay. After you take out all 4, you find out there's another screw in here. I've already removed it. So there's a bolt down there. You got to take that guy off. And his twin brother over here, which is actually a nut and a bolt. So you have to hold it while you take it off. So you take that guy off. Now, there's a hose attached to this thing. One way to do it is to detach the hose in the back. I think that's a bad idea. So I went ahead and just loosen this and then keep the hose with the unit. So again, you squeeze the clamp here and move it up so you don't lose it. Then I realized, hey, there's these little bracket thingies here. These, you have to remove those things too. Isn't that nice? I put the bolt back in just so I don't lose it. After that, then you have the bolts down here, which I placed up here. You might want to get yourself one of these little magnetic sticks. So after you loose it, put a little magnetic stick in there to remove the bolt. Trust me, it's better than digging around in your engine for the lost bolt. So after that, ta-da! The thing now comes out, hopefully. Oh, it looks like I missed a hose. Okay, so one more hose, and then change out the spark plugs. Look for part 3. Pretty much the same thing. Mine is an SL, somebody was asking. Now, this is step 3, or video number 3. This should be it, I hope. I can put this thing all back together in reverse order from the videos I just took. A couple things I want to go over here. So you got the 4 spark plugs here. What I normally do is I do 2 at a time. So I do that one, and then that one, and then I'll do this one and this one. So I do 2 at a time, therefore I don't confuse any of the cables. It's just a little thing I learned back when I used to have an 8-cylinder. So if you do like in sets of pairs like that, it kind of helps you out. These are the old plugs, by the way, for guys that are out there saying that they last 110,000 miles. This car is only 4 years old. It does have 20,000 miles, so yeah, they only put 5,000 miles a year when I bought it used. But you can see those spark plugs are well burned. I wasn't able to get those Densos, you know, from my local shop, so I went ahead and got these Autolites Iridiums. Hopefully they're pretty good. I do intend on changing my plugs about every 40,000 miles. I did also get me some anti-seize. Don't forget that stuff. So you take that anti-seize and you put that on the threads there. I usually start a couple threads away from the edge to avoid getting that stuff on the ceramic. And there you go. To put the spark plugs back in, I hold them with a pair of little needle nose and gently lower them in. And then when I'm almost at the end, I let go, and they don't. That way I don't bang up the end of that thing and then ruin your gap. As far as taking them out is concerned, your little magnet, bloop, works great. Let's see, what other thing I want to go over? That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, one more thing. I went ahead and I actually duct taped a little piece of metal or rubber tubing onto my end of my vacuum, my shop vac, and then I stick this into the hole and I vacuum out all the dirt and grime and gunk. I highly recommend it. Works great, easy to do, and it keeps your keeps them nice and shiny and clean. I mean, you can kind of see that. Look at how shiny and clean that is. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put this back together. Hopefully you guys have as much luck as I did. Seems like it's gonna go okay. Took me about an hour and a half of my lifetime, 2.5 beers. So enjoy your time. Good luck with it.